Well, we got the skid plate put on. Looks pretty good. Got a ton of sealant up underneath there on the underside and everything. This project, I got lucky. It took exactly one tube of 5200, one big tube. So I bought two just in case. I'm not gonna open the other one because you have to use it within a few days of opening it or it will set up inside the tube. So that worked out perfect. Now, all we gotta do is the really fun part. I got a couple fresh scouring pads. We can get this metal cleaned up. And I'm not gonna get this all done today. It's gonna probably be a few day process while this stuff cures. We'll be working on preparing the surface. Got most of the transom clean. We got this one little spot, battery died, gotta recharge. I could use that battery, but gotta recharge it anyways. And we got some weather coming in. So looks like we're probably about to get rained on, which is good for speeding up the curing process on this. Chipping away, just doing this all the way to the front, and then we'll go up and do this all the way up to the middle of the bottom and then do the other side. I did get out the flapper disc to take the old stickers off. All right, I've got a battery that's dead and I've got a battery on the charger right now, but making some good progress. I'm thinking, if y'all remember in part one, when I took the old paint off, it stopped here and this middle section here was not painted. I'm kind of thinking I might bring the paint back to the skid plate, and then from here back, this middle section, there's really no point to paint it. For example, I painted this boat about 10 years ago, and I don't know what the bottom of it looks like right now because I never see it or never pay attention. I mean, it's still got paint. It actually looks pretty good. So it's kind of pointless to waste the paint. I think I've got enough spray cans to do the whole boat, but it's better to have extra than not enough. So I might just stop it right here, because if I need to do repairs on any leaks, we don't need paint. I mean, we're gonna mess up the paint anyway if we have to repair leaks. It looks good, looks like it won't leak, but I'm not sure yet. We haven't put it in the water. While my batteries are charging, here's some of the finer details that I've kind of paid attention to. I got these screws. This is where that old trolling motor mount was. There's two holes where the screw heads were too big to fit in there, so I just patched over with JB weld. I'm probably just gonna hit it with that wheel and kind of smooth them out a little bit. Some random holes that were completely useless, I took the screws out and put rivets in. A couple more bolts here. All the old transom holes are riveted except for the ones right here at the gunnel. I'm not worried about those. If they become an issue, we can take care of them later. But I wanted to have everything patched first before I paint it, so I paint over all the rivets or screws or whatever I put in here, so everything gets painted over, because I don't want a bunch of little shiny studs randomly throughout the boat, because they are pretty random down here on the sides. Okay, so of course we're not going to paint this little section here. The paint is going to come to about here on the back. We're going to go over the whole boat quick, just with a little light sanding, and then we're going to start the cleaning process. But we got to wait for this rain to stop. I think we just have a little chance of rain here right now, and I'll keep an eye on the forecast, because we're not going to lay down a single drop of paint until I'm sure that it's not going to rain on me. Alright, so I'm giving it a quick wipe down with some alcohol. Okay, I'm watching the radar. I got everything taped off. It's ready to spray primer. Just real sketchy, like it has been the past week or two. There's no rain in the immediate forecast, but stuff can pop up. I'm going to give it one more wipe down with acetone. and then I'll check the weather one more time, and if there's nothing brewing to the west, we'll go ahead and put that primer down. How much dirt came off just one side of the boat. That's why we're doing a second wipe down. And I got a clean rag for the other side. Sketchy. I really hope that doesn't hit us. I think it's going to skim just to the north, but it's very uncomfortably close. And we're going to let this dry for at least half an hour before I put the next coat on. Alright, black base coat is on. This side's starting to get dry. Dries within an hour to touch, but it says to recoat within an hour, so we don't want it to be all the way dry before we recoat. So we're going to go ahead and get that color shift. So this is the color I will be using. This green, bronze, purple kind of color. I got 6 cans, should be more than enough. This stuff doesn't have the most even spray. It kind of wants to get clogged up a little bit. We're trying to put it down as evenly as possible. Can number 3 is dripping. We're putting it on the bottom of the boat. It keeps dripping. Already dripped on the side. I tried to patch it up. Dripped right here on the front too. Okay, we've had some issues, a couple of these dripping and not spraying evenly, so it didn't ruin it. It made a pretty cool texture. Plus the boat is all dented up anyways. So this will look a lot better in full sunlight, so we'll have to come back later. Looks pretty cool. Not bad for a beat up old JON boat. We're gonna put our lacquer on that as the final coat. That's a protective clear coat. So our last coat got 7 cans of lacquer, so we're gonna put it on fairly thick, just for protection from scratches, which are gonna happen anyway. It's gonna go into gravel bars, but give it a little extra shine, a little bit of extra scratch resistance here. She's coated, a little shinier now. Definitely shows up every little dent in the boat, but kind of looks cool. I like it. Didn't do a perfect job. We got a couple of runs here and there, but that just blends in with all the dents, I think. The color shift is pretty cool. This will look good going down the river, I think. for now we let it dry for a few days, and then we can flip her over onto the trailer and get to work on putting the motor back in. Alright, this paint's been drying, curing for about 2 days. Do a scratch test. That's not bad. That's promising. Might be ready to flip over onto the trailer. It's feeling more glossy. Doesn't have any kind of tack to it anymore. So it's hardening up nicely. I think hopefully that prep work paid off and it'll stay on there.